Hi, my name is Noel Tomas, and in this case, I'm playing the role of Brian from DSP Ops Company. I'm a operator of DSP, Data Space B, and I found out about this wonderful technology of DS2. I started navigating through the web page, and I found I can register using the portal. So next thing I'm gonna do is register my company in the portal and start using its technology. So now I hand over to my colleague Victor, who is gonna be continuing the demo next.
Well, hi, my name is Victor. I am from my4i, and I'm gonna show you how Brian is gonna register into DS2 portal. The first thing is to enter the name of the company, in this case, DSB Ops, and then I am requested some basic information. One thing to be mentioned is that the system is capable of checking the validity of the mails, and if there is already some company or user that has the same name already registered. Once that I have registered, the system sends a mail to the user, and that is meant to be validated. That one of my colleagues is doing it right now. Once that the mail has been accepted, I can get into the DS2 global portal using the credentials. I can go to the dashboard. The dashboard I got as a first step a tutorial where I can see the different regions of the global portal, some of the entries, the dash button, and the central body of the portal where the different applications and modules are going to be shown. Once that, the first thing that I should be doing is registering my data space. I am a representative of the data space B, the data space beverages. So the first thing that I do is I browse to the identity manager, and I click on register data space. So my data space is going to be data space B8. I get already some pre-populated information. This data space is about beverages. I copy some description about what my data space is, its purpose and objectives and services. And once that I have written this description, the system calls a different module provided by one of the partners that is called Interview. This module is the culture and language module. And what it's doing with the description is to build an ontological graph that is independent of the language, and that analyzes if the description could be enriched with additional information to be easier to discover this data space by other data spaces in DS2. This is what the CLM provided to me. I am going to ignore his recommendations, and I'm going to introduce several tasks that it will be used also for discovering my DSB data space. I'm going to tag as beverages, and that I have also some interest in IoT. And the next step is to decide what is the privacy level of the information that I have already inputted. There are several levels, from more restricted, meaning that I'm gonna share less information, to more open. So I'm gonna pick this one to share more information with other partners when they are browsing for data spaces. Next step is to define the policy of the data space. The policy is pre-populated with a template coming from we provide one by default and can be customized by a given user. And once that is modified, it can also be transformed into ODRL. In this case, you can see that in the ODRL, we identify that we only allow this data that I am going to share later in a different demo to different different companies that are from France or from Belgium. Once that I have enriched the policy with all that information, I can register the data space, and with that we have all the basic information. Once that I have created my data space that I can edit, what I have is the option to see all the different data spaces that are already registered in DS2. As I am a data space on beverages, I want to have information about data spaces that have companies that they grow, for example, oats. Clicking on one of them, I can see that this data space, they have agriculture related services, such as information about the the soil moisture and things like that. And I think that it could be beneficial for me to collaborate with them, as it could help me to schedule my production processes in a more intelligent way. With that, the request is sent to to the the DSA owner of the data space, that is Alan. So next thing is that I'm gonna play this Alan role. Alan is the operator of the company that is in charge of DSA. You can see is like that. And if I scroll down, I can see that Alan now received the request of agreement of the DSB8. You can click on it, see additional information, see the policy that DSB defined, and once that is secure of approving it, I can click on it, and then the state of the collaboration goes to approved. Okay, I can end the collaboration. And one additional thing that is relevant to mention is that now the different companies or the different data spaces will be able to collaborate between them. And this kind of agreement has a relevance in a legal sense that is registered in one of the modules that is used in in DS2, that is the DRM. DRM comes from data rights module, and clicking on it, what we can see is that this module that is global, that is hosted in the cloud, along with the IDM and along with other DS2 modules, is capable of registering different artifacts. It's an optional module, and one of the artifacts, meaning pieces of information that it can register, is the agreements. In this case, you can see here that the agreement that it was just established is being shown here. The policy, where you can see that restriction of that my only consumers are coming from France or Belgium. And with that, I'm gonna pass back to Noel that he's gonna show how companies can collaborate between them.
I'm gonna share screen now. So now I'm gonna be playing the role of Yvette from Whitebeard. I'm a member of DS Data Space B, and Brian told me about joining DS2 and being able to use DS2 technology in order to exchange data with other data spaces. So I'm following the same registration process that Victor showed you for Brian. So I use the global portal, I enter all the data, and then I try to register myself. So I have been registered already. The whole email validation process is also going behind the scenes. So I should be able to log in a moment, hopefully. I'm going to now log in as Yvette 8. There you go. I am logged in as Yvette. Again, I see the same tour, so I'm going to skip the tour. And the first thing I want to comment about the global portal is this dash button. The dash button is a web component that is going to be integrated in all the DS2 modules and provides you this single sign-on functionality. So basically, I can sign on in the portal and then I can jump from here to different modules, but also provide this module navigation. In this case, the central navigation for the central server of DS2. I can jump into the marketplace, into the chatbot. The other different modules are available centrally, like the IDM catalog, module marketplace, chat, etc., etc. So once that's done, the first thing that I want to do as Yvette is to join my data space in the DS2 environment. So for that, I click on data spaces, and I can jump into the IDM, same module that my colleague Victor was also showing. And in here, instead of this time registering a data space, what I'm going to be doing is link to a data space. Just before jumping into this, I just want to show you that in my wallet, I have no credential at all at the moment because I haven't been linked to any data space or I haven't created any data space. So if I go back here and I want to link to data space, I look for it. In this case, it's going to be DSB8. And one other comment that I want to mention is the different validation methods. In this case, we are only using the validation method by data space authority. So that means I do a request, and then the data space authority of DSB is going to approve this as I am a member of DSB. But we are further exploring other integration methods, such as using the data space DIDs, using the data space keycloak or the DApps attributes from the other data space. So that's going to be explored in the next phase of the project. So far, we use this validated by data space authority. So I click on save, and I click on validate data space membership. So that means that I have requested the validation. So now my colleague Victor, on behalf of Brian, is approving this membership. So he will let me know once that's approved. Victor, please let me know once that's done. Now, if I jump back into my wallet, as you can see, I have this identity, which is coming from this membership of DSB. But now what I get in here is these two different credentials. One is the membership credential from DSB8 because it's the one that I requested. But since DSB8 happens to have an agreement with Dataspace A, I get out of the box the agreement credential for Dataspace A, which means that I can also exchange data with participants from Dataspace A. Okay, that's it from the point of view of what I can do in terms of registering and getting credentials for data space membership, etc., etc. So now if I go back to the portal, I want to further explore about the different modules and technologies available. So for instance, as you can see, we have a module marketplace, but we have also a data marketplace that I can explore. So if I click, for instance, on the data marketplace, We got this data marketplace, which, by the way, the data marketplace is still development ongoing and is not fully integrated with the platform already. So we get some extra logins in here that we need to do and some extra steps. But of course, this will be further integrated in the next stages of the project. Just to let you know, that as planned, the data marketplace is not really meant to be started until month 18. So we are already kind of ahead of schedule anyway. And here we are with the data marketplace module. The data marketplace module is meant to be yet another layer for the data products, so to speak. We have the local catalog, we have the central catalog, and then we have the data marketplace. And this will allow us to monetize data products. And in principle, you would be able to register here different data sets that you want to monetize. And then this will be linked somehow to the central catalog in DS2 and to the connectors and local catalog, so that you will be required to have a license in order to be able to exchange data that has been monetized. So that's in reality what this data marketplace is going to be for. As I said, this is development still ongoing. So this is just like a flyby that we wanted to show for you to know about the data marketplace. That's it. Back to the portal again. I see there is the module marketplace, so I want to further explore the technologies, but I see we have the chat link as well. The chat links is like a chatbot that will allow us to query with natural language, and I will be able to get some answers from them. So I'm going to ask the chat about using DS2 technology. And this would redirect me to the chat, and then I will hand over to my colleague Christina from ATC, who will explain all about the dark module, the access, registration, and component. And that's it. So once back from the chat, now I know I can use the data share controller and some other modules. So I'm going to try purchasing the data share controller. Before doing that, what I'm going to be doing is entering my information, my billing information, which I need to do in order to be able to purchase. This is extra information on top of the portal registration. And so far, we are not really doing any validation, so we are kind of leveraging and allowing any data. Of course, this is going to be done later in the next step of the project. Okay, we have already done that, so we are now able to further purchase the data share controller. So I click on the data share controller, and I'm going to add it into the cart. But I realize, if I have a look at this, that before being able to purchase the data share controller, I need to get the IDT broker. The IDT broker is the core enabler of DS2, and is needed and is the local platform where all the modules will be deployed on top of. So I need to install that and run it before being able to purchase it, because the marketplace has detected that I haven't really acquired a license for it. So I just click on it, and I'm redirected to the IDT broker. Then I can add it into the cart, and I can purchase it. So I can now go to checkout. Since I have filled in my billing information, I can just send the order, and I should be able to acquire the IDT module. So now I'm going to be able to purchase the IDT broker. So I add it into the cart. Then I go to checkout. Next, since I have the billing, I can send the order, and I should be able to acquire the license. There you go. So we have purchased the IDT broker. The IDT broker is like a unique module type of module, which in this case needs to be downloaded. So I'm going to click on download the asset, and I will be able to install it. So I'm downloading the asset. Now, once that is downloaded, I can access the DS2 installer, which is like a Windows installer that we are developing and we'll run and we'll install the Kubernetes base platform for the IDT and all the modules that are embedded within the IDT. So basically what I do is I click on here, I can add any IP that I'm going to deploy the IDT on top of. For instance, this one, port is going to be the same. I'm going to choose that. I'm going to be root and my password. And then I can click on start installation and it starts installing. In the meantime, I can get back here and I can purchase the data share. Now I have the license, so I can easily purchase it. But I also want, because I happen to know that I need the SDS, so I am gonna purchase the SDS as well. So I get it and I purchase it, and that's it. And I can go to checkout and purchase everything. And once everything is purchased and I have the IDT installed, I can open the entry point to the IDT, which is the local portal. In this case, I'm going to open it in my other window. Here, this is the main entry point to the IDT. And as you can see, since I have purchased the data share controller and the SDS module, the sovereignty decision support, I have already them available in my local portal. This local portal is like a local version of the central portal. In here, what you can see is the list of the acquired modules from one side, and also some default modules that we have here as well, like the IDT UI and the containerization UI, which is the main one being used to deploy modules on top of the IDT. So if I get back to here, now I need to install the data share controller. So I'm going to just install it. And for that redirects me to the containerization UI, and you can see that now I can install the data share controller. Once the data share controller is installed, I can get back to the data share, and I can now access to the data share module. The data share module is a module that allows to do some control and provide some information on providers on the different consumers and what data is being consumed, etc., etc. So, for instance, this is the main page where you can already see some information on contracts that have been established with you as a provider, and you can implement some actions on top of it, like pause it, stop it, resume it. You get some default statistics as well on the consumer data being exchanged, etc., etc. For instance, I could jump into some asset analytics as well, and we can also configure some alerts, and you get some alerting and warnings on the different data sets being consumed. That's it for the data share. I want also to use the sovereignty decision support, so I click on install as well. I'm going to be able to install it from the containerization UI. So once installed, I can just go back to the portal, and now I see it installed. So I click on the sovereignty decision support system. This is also one of the modules that is being integrated and is like external module. So the integration is not fully done. So we need also some extra login in here, but that's still work ongoing. And there we go. We get already this dashboard. Just to let you know, the SDS module is this module that allows you to model your system and provides you with risk assessments regarding security and vulnerabilities in your system. The idea behind this is that you model your own system. For instance, in this case, I am Yvette, and I have this model that is modeling the security of my system. I'm going to zoom a little bit out so you can see. This provides you with different information on different risks and likelihood, etc., etc., that you have for your system. And the idea is that this is being modeled, and you get from another tool that's being developed, you will get as an output a security report that you will use in order to decide on whether or not establish a transaction. For instance, me as Yvette, I can have this report. Then Xavier from X Farms will have its own report, and then we will have this other tool that will do this report comparison. And with that output, we will be able to have yet another layer of decision point that will allow us to exchange the data. And that's it from my side. Now I'm going to be handovering to my colleague Jens, who is going to be running the demo session 1 on data services, publish, and discovery. That's it.